I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
So we're joined now by Scott Munro from the Detectives Endowment Association. And Scott, we have issues to talk about, but let's talk about the psyche for a minute. A public school in Manhattan in a very wealthy area put on some play last week where the students depicted being shot by cops. I mean, we can't win with this kind of mentality in the city, can we?
No, that's terrible. You know what? We're out there trying to show the public that every day, the New York City Police Department, that we're not against the public in any type of way. I mean, especially the Detectives Endowment Association, you know, we do everything. We're out there with our canteen. We're out there, feeding families on Thanksgiving and everything else like that. Why would they on earth try to do something like that?
You know, it's also just about the general psyche. I mean, I grew up in I spent my preteen and teen years. I moved to New York in 1981, came back in the late 90s, and being in the NYPD and being in a cop was hot, to say the least. It was so revered. In fact, you might remember in the late 90s, there were all those guys who were over the age to join the NYPD who were petitioning Mayor Giuliani to let them join. That's how much people wanted to be a part of this. And now we have this anti-cop sentiment, even in the wealthier parts of the city. And on top of that, Scott Munro from the Detectives Endowment Association, we also have a changing nature of crime in the city. When I was growing up in the city, it was property crime, purse snatching, mugging, chains being ripped off. Now it's random mentally ill people who there's nothing you can do. They're just coming and slashing people out of nowhere. We need the police more than ever.
Correct.
No, you need a government that in Albany is going to put these people in mental institutions. They shouldn't be in the streets of New York.
Yes, they're going to have to do something with that. And it just showed we had one of our detectives shot in the leg the other day. It was a barricaded prisoner. It was an emotionally disturbed person. He was a real hero along with other detectives there that day. They had a family upstairs, an older family upstairs that barricaded themselves in the room because they were afraid. This individual was shooting at the gas line or the stoves. They went in there to take action. And unfortunately, what happened was, he didn't make it. But this is what shows you on these emotionally disturbed people. You can't bring civilians there to talk to these people because now you got to worry about them. And unfortunately, we have a detective sitting in a hospital bed right now that got shot in the leg by him.
Judge Weinberg.
Scott, it's good to talk to you again. The problem is you have this either deliberate or naive attempt to change the nature of policing. The job of the police officers are to protect and to defend. Sending in social workers creates the problem as you created because you have to protect them as well, and they're not capable of taking calm and control of the situation, whereas the people who respond are very trained in this. Similarly, they want to take away the critical response groups. Mondami's attempt to do this and he seems to have cooled it, at least for the time being, but the fact of the matter is, how do you take care of the riot situation? Send in social workers, stand down, let people riot, take over Macy's, as de Blasio did?
Well, I think he's starting to see what's really going on. I would love to ask him that question. What do you feel differently than you feel now from 6 months ago or 8 months ago when you were campaigning? I would like to know, do you feel a little bit different about what policing does and what we're going to be doing in New York, how we're going to keep New York safe?
Well, he'll answer you by telling you it's the Jews' fault. I mean, Thursday night, he makes a speech right after the feel-good parade for the Knicks, and he's talking about everyone coming together, and then he makes a speech at a political rally calling people who donate to Israel monsters. I mean, he uses the term monsters. right out of Der Stürmer in 1938 from Nazi Germany, and talks about how all they want to do is support genocide. There is no genocide, by the way, in Gaza. It's called mathematics.
There's no apartheid. There's no colonialism. There's no genocide.
Yeah, and it, by the way, insults the true victims of apartheid, genocide, and throughout history of the world. But another thing that really gets me here is the left is supposed to be the big supporters of the unions, the working unions. Well, I got news for you. The Border Patrol agents have a union. The cops have a union. Certain government workers who they've been demonizing, these cops and Border Patrol agents, they're union workers. Where's the respect for them? It's amazing to me. I mean, obviously, this is a big part of your argument, I would assume, Scott.
Yes. Listen, I want to have an open dialogue with the mayor, just like I had an open dialogue with the last mayor, and explain to the mayor basically why we need certain things moving forward. Because you know what? It's about New York City. It's about keeping the people safe in New York City. It's about keeping my detectives, all police officers, safe every day, making sure that they go home to their families. That's what it's all about.
Scott, this is Fernando Mateo. By the way, I have a great deal of respect for all of our NYPD uniformed and detectives because they keep us all safe. And I don't really think that you need to do much explaining to the mayor or much asking from the mayor. Just look at what happened yesterday in Harlem. 4 kids shot. 4 kids. Then you go to the Bronx. There were another 6 or 7 kids stabbed and shot. What happens in the city every day speaks for itself. And who has to come to the rescue? Who has to investigate to find these people, to find the people who committed these crimes? It's our detectives. It's our police officers, right? We need to appreciate them more. There isn't much that you need to explain to the mayor. Just show him the newspapers. Let him read. Let him see for himself.
The mayor, you know what? We had that, that big parade for the Knicks. We had a couple different, we have millions of people there, right? But you only had a couple different problems there. The police commissioner and her staff put everybody out there. They were working long, hard hours. They were working double shifts. These detectives, they're tired. You know what I mean? They're going home to their families. People are going to be retiring, and that's what's very concerning to me. With the governor. I mean, I have a bill that's sitting on her desk right now that I have 1,000 detectives that can retire in July. I only have a little over 5,000. Normally, when I took over 2 years ago, we had about 5,600. Prior to that, we had 7,000 detectives. So we're down with our membership, okay? It's very important that the governor looks at this bill and signs it now. She needs to stop the bleeding right now. Not in October, not in November. We need to stop it now.
Scott,
so if you're concerned about the city, these bills have to get signed, and our members need to continue, and we need to continue to keep our experience here in the Detective Bureau.
Well, Scott, again, I mean, we only have about 30 seconds left, but this is like a blueprint for how to destroy a civilization.
Yep.
Open up the jails, open up the borders, de-emphasize law and order. Look, we all know that it's not that we want the police to run without any oversight, but to get rid of the police absolutely or effectively. They don't have to literally defund the police, but if we have these kinds of depleted numbers of cops on the streets, it's the same thing. It's the same thing,
I don't
Scott.
blame them for wanting to leave, Scott. I'm sorry. I know we need more detectives, but I don't blame them for wanting to leave.
Quick last word to you, Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Hello?
Quick last word to you.
I would just listen, we're here. Our members are out there working day to day. They have families at home just like everybody else. Whether you're a stockbroker or you're a bus driver or whatever, they want to go home to their families and they want to be safe. And that's our job. We have to keep them safe. Not only are we keeping them safe, we're keeping the people of the city of New York safe.
Scott Munro, the New York Detectives Endowment Association.